Hi there, and welcome to this video. In this video, we will explore how we can debug SQL queries produced by Debugging. A quick note before we get started. Debugging takes away a lot of boilerplate query syntax, and it allows us to produce complex queries by abstracting all the query building behind an intuitive interface. However, at times, we do actually want to see the SQL queries being built by Debugging to make sure that we are doing the right thing. We also might want to debug potentially slow queries by seeing what's happening behind the scenes. With that said, let's see how we can get our hands on this debugging info. So we run this schema result set node first, where we're getting the reference type of the returned item from the node's result set. And if I do something like removing the ref keyword, we're getting the first result item, and I access the description of the node. And if we run Perl, including the lib directory for script, we're going to see that we're getting back node1 from user1. Now how we can actually see the query that was produced? There are two main ways how you can do this. The first one, and the most easiest, is that you prefix your command line with debug trace equals 1. Now if we run this again, what we're going to see is the same output as before for the node description, and above that we can actually see the SQL that was produced by Debugging. So we're selecting all the columns from the node table, and we're aliasing the node table as me. And that's just a standard thing what Debugging usually does. It always aliases the current table, which would be the node, as me. As I said, this is probably the fastest way and easiest way to do it. Now, of course, in real-life scenarios, you're probably going to have a lot of queries, such as if I duplicate this line and I access the ID and I run the script again, what we're going to see now that we have two results, two queries. But what if we don't really care about the second query? What if we only want to see the SQL that was produced for the first query? Now, for that, you can do the schema instance, the storage object, and it doesn't just offer you accessing the underlying database handle. You can also call debug on the storage and say 1 for enabling it. And you can wrap it around the debug expression that you want to debug the SQL for. Now in our case, we want to debug only the first SQL. So I can say schema afterwards, storage bug 0. And now if we rerun the script again, what we're going to see is the first SQL that was produced to return the node description. And for the second query that returns the ID, we're just getting back the ID. Now these are two main ways how you can debug the queries. Usually setting the environment variable will do just fine. But again, if you have like a large app, many queries running behind the scenes, but you are interested only in specific debug query part and you want to see the SQL produced for that, in that case, you can use this schema storage debug solution. Alright, so that's it for this video. Before we get started in the next video, by seeing how we can query the database, I just wanted to quickly introduce you to the ways of how you can debug your queries in Debugging. I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you at the next one.